The exam 2 synthesis reactions that you usually have to work with were the Wittig reagent, the carboxylic acid derivatives in syntheses, and the use of protecting groups. So let's start with talking about the Wittig reagent. What is it? What does it look like? And what does it do? Whenever you see PH3 and then the phosphorus is double bonded to some carbon chain, for example, let's just say it's CH3. What this does is it will replace any and all C double bond O's with whatever is double bonded to the phosphorus. So if I have a carbon oxygen double bond like this, going forward with this over the arrow, all I'm going to do is I'm going to erase that oxygen and put a CH3 there. Or that shouldn't be CH3, that has too many carbons. CH2, there we go. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to erase the oxygen, the double bond stays there, and what's double bonded to the phosphorus is what replaces it, so CH2. And now I can use longer carbon chains. For example, what if I made this 3 carbons long? 1, 2, 3. Well, it's still the same rule, it's just now 1, 2, and 3 are going to be there. So I erase the oxygen, and I connect carbon 1 here, and then carbon 2 and 3 would also be attached to it. So here's carbon 1, 2, 2, and 3. Okay? Now an important rule about the Wittig you should remember is it preferentially makes the Z product. And what that means is just that the 2 largest groups of your double bond are pointing in the same direction. The same side is the way I remember it, same side. And what that means is if I had a double bond, my 2 largest groups must point in the same direction. It kind of looks like a cis double bond, but don't think of it that way. But as long as my largest groups are pointing in the same direction, that is Z. So for example, this is not Z because here's one of my largest groups, here's my other, they're pointing in opposite directions. So this is an example of an E double bond, or you could think of it as opposite sides. And a Z double bond would be where this and this was the methyl. Okay, so this would be the Z double bond. So if I change this slightly and said, okay, here's an extra methyl there, and I put the methyl here, is this the correct product? It is not, because we're supposed to make the Z product. So that would mean that the product of this reaction would be that. Because now I have 1, 2, 3, and the 2 largest groups are on the same side. And that's the general idea of the Wittig, and now let's see some practice problems where we work with it.